Welcome to Fazza Poetry World, where hearts turn into poetry. In the quiet breath of an evening, where the sun had already whispered goodbye, and the sky wore a soft shade of fading gold, I sat beside my father, not as a child anymore, but not fully a man either. Somewhere in between, where questions are louder than answers, and silence often says more than words. We spoke the way fathers and sons do. Not completely open, not completely closed, just enough truth to understand each other, and just enough silence to protect our hearts. The room carried history. That old chair he sat in, it wasn't just wood and fabric. It held years of decisions, burdens, sacrifices, and quiet victories no one ever saw. He leaned back slowly, as if time itself moved with him, and his eyes found mine. Those calm, steady eyes, that had seen more of life than I could ever imagine. I thought, this is it. Another lesson is coming. Something serious. Something heavy. Something I might not be ready to hear, but something I would need. But instead, he asked a question so simple that it almost felt ordinary. Does she need a job? And in that moment, time paused. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just, quietly. Because those 5 words, they were not small. They carried weight. They carried meaning. They carried something deeper than what they appeared to be. I looked at him, not confused, but aware. Because I knew, this was not about work. Not about money. Not about opportunities or positions. No, this was about you. This was his way. The only way he knew how. To say something that fathers like him never say directly. I have been watching her. She matters. She is not temporary. You see, my father is not a man of quick trust. He does not believe in fast decisions or easy judgments. He believes in time. He believes in watching people when they think no one is watching. He believes in noticing who stays when there is nothing exciting left. When the laughter fades. When the gatherings end. When life returns to its ordinary rhythm. That's when truth reveals itself. And he watched you, more than you ever realized. He saw the way you stood beside me when I had nothing impressive to offer. No success. No stability. No perfect version of myself. Just me. Tired sometimes. Lost sometimes. Broken in ways I never showed the world. But you stayed. Not loudly. Not for attention. Not for recognition. You stayed quietly. Like someone who understands that love is not proven in big moments, but in small, consistent ones. He noticed how you came to family dinners. Not trying to shine, not trying to be seen, just being yourself. Respectful. Soft-spoken. Real. You never forced your presence. You never tried to impress. You never played a role that wasn't yours. And in a world where people try so hard to be accepted, you simply existed as you are. And that is rare. And men like my father, they notice rare things. So when he asked, "Does she need a job?" what he truly meant was, "Is it time? Is she ready? Do we open the door for her?" And in my heart, the answer had already been written. Yes. Not because you asked. Not because you needed. Not because you expected anything. But because you earned it. Through patience. Through honesty. Through staying the same person. When things were easy. And when things were hard. You never tried to take shortcuts. You never used love as a way to gain something. You built your own path. Step by step. Quietly. Strongly. Even when life tested you, you did not break. And that strength, that dignity, that self-respect, it spoke louder than any words you could have ever said. So no, you don't need a job. In the way people think. You don't need saving. You don't need support to define your worth. Because you are already building your own future. But his question was never about need. It was about respect. It was about saying, "I see her. I value her. She belongs. And I know you, I know how you would react. You would smile. Just a little. That soft smile. You try to hide. You would shake your head. And say something like, "I'm fine. I don't need anything. I don't want anyone to think. But listen to me. This is not a favor. This is not charity. This is not someone helping you because they think you can't stand alone. No, this is something much deeper. This is a father. A man who has spent his life protecting his world. Opening a door. Not for everyone. Not easily. Not without reason. But for you. Because you proved something. Without even trying to prove it. While others spoke. You showed. While others doubted. You stayed. While others questioned. You answered with actions. You stood beside me. When there was nothing to gain. You supported me. When I was at my lowest. You never asked for gifts, never demanded comfort, never turned love into a transaction. You only wanted what truly matters. Honesty. Peace. Real connection. And that is what convinced him. Even when people warned him. Be careful. Take your time. Make sure she is real. He didn't respond quickly. He waited. He observed. He understood. And now, he has decided. Not loudly. Not emotionally. But in the quiet way. He always does. The next morning, he asked me, "Did you tell her?" And that question, that simple question, carried something powerful. He was waiting. Not for your answer about a job, but for your answer about a place in this family. He wanted you to know. You have been seen. Every small effort. Every silent sacrifice. Every moment you chose to stay. When it would have been easier to leave. He saw it all. And now, he is saying, you are not outside anymore. If you choose, you are one of us. And listen carefully. If you say no, nothing changes. You are still loved. You still belong. And if you say yes, it does not make you weak. Because this moment is not about receiving. It is about recognizing what you have already given. This is not the beginning of your place here. This is the acknowledgement of it. A quiet confirmation. A soft voice saying, you didn't just win his heart. You won mine too. And that means everything. Because trust like this is not given easily. It is built, over time, through truth, through consistency, through being real. When no one is watching. And now, the door is open. Not halfway. Not temporarily. Fully. And you stand there. Not as a guest, not as someone passing through, but as someone who truly belongs. So take your time. Think. Feel. Decide. Say yes, or say no, but never forget what that question really meant. When my father asked, does she need a job? What he was truly saying was, I trust her. I respect her. I accept her. And I want her to be part of this family. And without asking, without forcing, without changing who you are, you earn that place. You belong here now. Not just today, but always. And maybe, you don't realize it yet, but some moments in life don't arrive with noise. They arrive quietly, like this one did. No celebration. No announcement. No grand speech. Just a father, sitting in his old chair, asking a simple question that carried the weight of acceptance. And now, we stand in the continuation of that moment. Because what he said that evening did not end there. It stayed, it settled into the walls of the house, into the air we breathe, into the way he looks at me now. With a different kind of calm. A calm that says, I have made my decision. You see, men like my father do not repeat themselves. They don't explain their emotions twice. They don't open doors halfway. When they decide, they simply move forward. As if the answer has always been there. And since that day, everything has changed, not loudly, but in small, meaningful ways. He asks about you now, casually, as if it's nothing. How is she? Is she doing well? Did she eat? Simple questions, but they come from a place that was once closed. A place that now has your name written in it. And I notice it, in the way he listens. When I talk about you. Before, he would hear me. Now, he understands me. Before, you were someone in my life. Now, you are part of it. And there is a difference. A deep one. A permanent one. Because being accepted by someone like him is not temporary. It is not based on mood, or emotion, or convenience. It is based on observation, on time, on truth. And you passed every silent test he never told you about. Do you remember those quiet dinners, those moments when you thought nothing important was happening, when you sat there, calm, respectful, not trying to say the perfect thing, just being yourself? Those were not ordinary moments. Those were the moments he was watching the most. Because he wanted to see. Who are you? When you are not trying, who are you? When no one is paying attention, who are you? When love is not being tested, but simply existing, and you showed him. Not with effort, but with truth. You showed him that your presence is peaceful, not heavy. That your love is real, not loud. That your intentions are pure, not calculated. And slowly, without saying it, he accepted you. And now, we are here. At a place where his silence has turned into quiet support. Where his observation has turned into trust. Where his question has turned into an open door. But I want you to understand something. This is not the end of a journey. This is the beginning of something deeper. Because being part of a family like mine means something different. It means standing together, even when things are not easy. It means choosing each other on days when love feels quiet, or tired, or tested. It means becoming part of a story that was written long before us, and continuing it with honesty and strength. And I know you are capable of that, because you have already shown it. You didn't walk away when things were uncertain. You didn't change when things became difficult. You didn't demand more when life gave less. You stayed. And staying is one of the hardest things a person can do. So now, as you stand at this moment, don't think of it as a decision about a job. Think of it as a moment of recognition. A moment where someone who rarely speaks his heart has spoken, in the only way he knows how. And maybe, years from now, we will look back at this evening and smile. Not because of the words, but because of what they meant. Because this was the moment when everything became real. When love was no longer just between us, but became part of something bigger. A family. A home. A place where you are not visiting, but belonging. And I imagine, one day, you sitting in that same room, maybe not in his chair, because no one can replace him, but somewhere close, laughing softly, feeling comfortable, feeling safe, not thinking about whether you belong, because you will already know. And maybe, one day, he will ask you something else. Another simple question, with a deeper meaning. And by then, you will understand immediately. Because you will have become part of the language of this family. The language of quiet love. The language of small gestures that carry big emotions. The language of trust that doesn't need to be repeated. And when that day comes, you won't hesitate. You won't doubt. You won't question your place. Because you will feel it. In every corner of this home, in every glance, in every silence, in every small moment that says, you are one of us. So take this moment slowly. Hold it gently. Understand it deeply. Because not everyone gets to experience a love like this, a trust like this, a quiet acceptance that is stronger than 1,000 loud words. And remember, you didn't ask for this. You didn't chase it. You didn't force it. You simply deserved it. And now, the story continues, not as two separate lives, but as one path, being built together, step by step, with truth, with patience, with love that does not need to prove itself, because it already has.